Hey guys, we're back. I'm Snarky from Snark and Spark. Welcome back to this ridiculousness that I call my channel. Sorry, my dog just walked by, already interrupting. So yeah, what's up? It's been a week and I'm really cold today because it snowed and it's like winter decided to finally show up. We were having, 50 something degree December days, and then all of a sudden it's cold now. The high today is 26. I was cold. I've been cold all day. I was cold at work, and then I was cold at home. I'm still cold at home. And then I had to go pick up my son because my son got to actually go back to school, physically got to go to school today, which was exciting. And he'll go tomorrow and he'll go Wednesday, but then he'll be home for the rest of the week and then for his winter break. So I'm glad he got to go to school, but it just seems really silly that he's only going for just a couple days and then he's going to be off for break, but it's fine. Whatever, I'll take it. I got to actually do my normal work schedule this week, which is nice. Yeah. But hey, what's up? Let's start off. I mentioned in my last video I got really excited when I was filming because my mailman drove by, and I was like, I have a package. And sure enough, covered my address. I got my 1, 2, 3 stitch. Um, I did open it. I swear I did. Maybe I didn't, but I thought I did. So I mentioned what I ordered. Oh, that's so pretty. Um, crinkle, crinkle. Bunch of floss, for starters. I ordered a lot of the colors I was missing so that I could start my letters from Hogwarts. And I needed a bunch because I'm doing it times 2. But I also ordered fabric and it's arrived. This is 32 count Belfast 13 by 18 called Stormy Night. Oh, that's pretty. That's so pretty. Because I had mentioned decided to rearrange what projects were on what, so I'm now going to use this fabric for Harbingers 1 and 2, and the fabric I originally purchased for Harbingers, which is called, I'm sorry, my phone just beeped. Um, the original fabric I ordered for that was Bramblewood, something like that. And it's more of like a greeny gray, and I decided I was going to use that instead for Letters to Hogwarts because I liked the coloring for that better. It seemed more murky and magical. So yay! Also, completely not Stitchy related, but I'm gonna kind of show a little bit of it. I ordered from an Etsy shop called like Dear Julie Julie, I think. It's a stationery shop on Etsy. So I got this big old package in the mail. But I ordered like a grab bag of stationery items and stationery goodies and just kind of like oddball Christmassy kind of stuff. Um, because I have a friend who is absolutely obsessed with llamas and loves them. And if you are in certain Facebook groups, you might have seen a post that belongs to me. Um, I shared, due to a stressful childhood, I don't have any ornaments to call my own, so Christmas is usually really difficult, especially when it comes to decorating our tree, because every year I don't have my ornaments. So it really consists of me unwrapping or unboxing my husband's and my child's ornaments, and then he puts them on the tree or they put them on the tree. I'm still there, I'm still part of it, but it's hard. And I had I had confided this to her several months ago. Um, and for Christmas this year, she made me like an advent box of ornaments. I'm sorry if you can hear my son, he's upstairs playing video games. Um, but she made me a thing of ornaments numbered 1 through 25, so I have something to open every single day in December. And she made ornaments, got my husband in on it, and um, they're just things, little ornaments of my favorite things. So a lot of effort, a lot of thought went into this. But she has included a couple cross-stitch ones that I've opened so far. Um, but I posted that in some Facebook groups, and I wasn't expecting it to blow up like it did. But lots of people have seen it, and lots of people commented on it saying how wonderful she is and how lucky I am to have a friend. And it's true. I am so incredibly blessed to know her and have her in my life. Um, so she is the one who is obsessed with llamas, and I found this really cute, quirky, fun, like stationary grab bag that was all llama themed. And so I decided I didn't have enough time, and there isn't enough stuff to do like a full month long thing that she did for me, but I can do like a 12 days of Christmas llama themed thing for her. And so that's what I'm doing, and I'm really excited because I got like the pile of stuff. um, and it's really cute. Like there's little themed, like these are tissues and little like llama shaped pieces of notepaper and stuff like that, and just little odd trinkets and sparklies. And so I've got pieces of paper and little um, like she even included little wrapping sheets of paper and stuff, and there's little like trinkets. And so I decided that I'm gonna work on it today because I'm actually gonna see her tomorrow. I can at least start on it, and if all else fails, physically mail it to her. But I am making all sorts of little llama themed things, just really simple, just a quick little note for every single day. And um, I mean, to the point where I've even have just like coloring. She sent me coloring pictures. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to be working on that for a little bit before I get to really stitching today. Um, so that's that. Moving on. My goal was to not make this long, and I'm already 8 minutes in, and I've only covered one topic. Let's talk about the progress I've made this week, though. Let me just make all that noise. Let's pull out Dragonfly. Ta-da! When I last showed this, I still needed like 200 stitches, so there they are. I've got 200 stitches on that. I worked a lot on Deck the Halls. I'm so close to finishing this. Oh, that's a needle. I took it out of its scroll frame because when I originally put it in the scroll frame and gridded it and did my measurements, somehow it got shifted down more. So I have just maybe half an inch more fabric at the top than I do at the bottom. So it made it really snug at the bottom of my scroll frame, and when I rotated it, sorry, it's just one of my neighbors, and he just walked by my house to check his mail, but my dog is freaking out. It's okay, buddy. Oh yeah. So I had it in the queue or in the scroll frame, and when I tried to roll it down, it just like popped out of the scroll frame. So luckily, that is the bottom. I do have enough fabric that I'll be able to finish it the way I want to finish it. But yeah, it's looking really, really good. I got all of this done. I'm starting getting the blue on there, and then this is just the snowflakes and the candy cane, and then the gingerbread man goes here. So, and I still have to get less than 100. I still owe like less than 100 on that, but I swear for WIP Wranglers, all I roll are 2s and 6s. So I'm doing 200 stitches on stuff and 600 stitches on stuff. And that one was a 600 stitch. So, and then I also had a new start. I tucked it in my binder of my project binder that has stuff. So, this is 200 stitches on perforated paper. There we go. And this is a start of the library periodic table. It is not a periodic table, but it spells out the word library using the periodic elements. So, and I changed the colors. I'm not doing what the chart called for. The chart called for it to be like LI was this like orange, BR was like a dark purple, AR was a light purple, and Y was yellow. And I just didn't like how that looked. But I pulled up different periodic table charts and looked at how they had like colored the columns of like the similar elements and stuff, and I just found a chart that had colors that I liked for those elements. So that's going to be a red, and then I wrote it down. I've got 304, 907, 948, and 374 picked as my colors. I don't have the colors out, but I wrote down the subs. But it's basically that red, like parrot green, a really pale periwinkle blue, and then like a peachy salmon color. So that's just what I decided I wanted to do. But I did that, and then yeah, that's pretty much where I got. So with WIP Wranglers, though, I said it was going to happen. Got a Scrooge card. I did. She got me. Holly got me with a Scrooge card. And I decided to just let fate decide. Not only how many stitches, but also on what project. So I rolled, and of course, I got project number 11, which is Australian Dragon. So I technically have that completed. But I get to pull him out again, and what did I roll? A 5. So I get to do 500 more stitches on Australian Dragon. And so with the Scrooge card, it's basically once you roll that, you stop whatever you're doing, do your Scrooge card, and then you can go back to it. So I have not finished my less than 100 stitches I still need on Deck the Halls because I need to do my Scrooge card. So I will actually be starting that today because that leads me to the School of Magical Stitches homework for this week, and I can use the dragonfly for one of the prompts. Because again, right now, even if I have stuff that fits the prompts, I'm 100% using what I roll in WIP Wranglers to get me to School of Magical Stitches prompts. So, task number 1 and 2 have the same stitch count, and then task number 3 has a higher stitch count. This week, there's only the 3 tasks, But so task one, um, the Kingdom Keepers are looking for clocks and anything that has to do with time. So we're supposed to stitch on a whip that deals with time, whether it has a clock on it, um, or a watch, or the sun, or even just how many hours that you've spent on a particular whip. Then task number two is the Overtakers are spending time at Mickey Mouse's house and at Tarzan's tree house. So we need to pick where we would rather live. Do we want to live in Mickey's house or in the tree house? And then we need to stitch on a whip with trees or a house, um, and say which one we prefer. And then finally, task number three, Minnie is quoted as saying, "That which you see will give you much comfort and happiness," and so we need to stitch on a whip that makes us happy. Um, so task 1 and 2 are both 300 stitches, and then task number 3 is 400 stitches. So I will be using my Australian dragon for task number 3 because it does make me happy to stitch on it, even if I am frustrated that I keep rolling it. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna at least get 4 of my 500 stitches in on that, and then I'm gonna roll and see what happens and what comes next. So even though I do have a whip that has a clock on it, I probably won't get to work on that one because that is my book lover's bookshelf. And I've already rolled it twice, I think, and worked on it. So yay. Or maybe I just rolled it once. So we'll see what happens. But let's move on. So I want to talk about what I'm currently into and interested in, and get some recommendations from you guys, because I'm currently reading the same things I was last week. But I did start Kingdom Keepers. Unfortunately I didn't touch on, and I never touch on it, but I especially didn't want to read the story behind the homework this week, because if you were anything like me, I hadn't read up to that point in the book yet, and so it was a huge spoiler for me when I opened up the homework prompt this morning on my phone to read it on my break at work. And yep, and so I was shocked, and then because I have it as an audiobook and I can listen to it while I'm at work, I was desperately listening to the audiobook at work to catch up. So just be aware. I am also still reading Three Dark Crowns, and I finished Cujo last week. That was really good. It wasn't my favorite, but it was good. It was fine. I am working on Jane Eyre. That's about all I can think of right now. So yeah. TV shows, we're still working on Prodigal Son. We are halfway through it, but we took kind of a break. I sometimes have really vivid dreams, and I have lucid dreaming happen to me, and that's when, if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of your dreams are so real that you don't know that you're necessarily asleep. It's not like sleep paralysis. It's I am asleep and I am dreaming, but the dreams are so lifelike that sometimes when I wake up, I don't actually know if I'm awake or not. Because sometimes it happens in my dreams that I will wake up in my dream, but I will actually still be asleep in real life. So, this does tend to cause nightmares, and when that does happen, they're really vivid, they're really rough, and so I decided I needed to take a little bit of a break from the show. It's not that it was gory or anything like that, but the show is really intense, and because we pretty much binged half of it in 2 days, it just kind of overloaded my system and I had to take a step back. But I'm good. Like I didn't actually have like nightmares. I just noticed that I was having like really intense dreams and I just kind of wanted to like bring bring the tone down. Um, but we are still working on that. I still love it. I also watched quite a bit of Hoarders this week because I was stressed out. And if you remember, Hoarders is my like guilty little pleasure TV show. I'm on season 4. It's, yep, I love it. But I did watch a movie, and this is kind of where I really want suggestions. So I am in this weird, like, horror suspense kick on a like weird horror suspense kick. Um, I hate horror films. Absolutely can't stand them. They freak me out. I'm not good. The whole nightmare thing. Um, but what it actually is it's the jump scares in a horror film that I don't like. I can deal with the suspense and the like the dread like feelings, but I can't. I cannot handle the jump scares. Um, and so I have realized this. So I actually watched um, over the course of a couple days. I gave myself breaks just because I wasn't sure. So for about like half an hour to 45 minutes at a time. It's a really long movie. I watched Midsummer, which came out earlier this year, and it's about like these this group of Americans that go with their Swedish friend back to his homeland, like community. He grew up in a commune um, cult in Sweden, and he invited them to come back to his homeland with him to celebrate their midsummer festival that only happens like once every 90 years. And of course, bad things happen and people start to die. And but there were no jump scares. It's definitely a horror film, and it is unsettling, and people are being murdered and sacrificed and whatnot. But because there wasn't any jump scares, just that like dread feeling in the pit of your stomach, I actually really enjoyed it. Um, I like found myself sitting on like the edge of my seat doing like this, and I couldn't stop watching. But it didn't scare me. It was just unsettling. So that I can handle. So I am kind of on a kick right now of like I want to watch more horror films that aren't reliant on jump scares. Maybe like one or two, but I can't do, the Insidious or any of those like paranormal activity ones. Like I just nothing that like yeah, nope, can't do it. So if you have any suggestions for me, um I looked up a list and I started it like yesterday, but I shouldn't have started it yesterday because I was getting ready. We had to do a work thing, and so I really wasn't paying attention. But I looked up Lake Mungo on Amazon Prime. Supposedly, that's a really good like horror film without jump scares. So I'm gonna give it a try. I will also say I cheat and I will look up these movies over and over and over and over again and read the synopsis of these films like multiple times so that I am not caught off guard at all and am like prepared for what happens. So don't worry about spoiling things for me because I'm going to read the synopsis anyways. Just maybe don't spoil it for others. But if you've got anything for me, share it down below. I honestly am not sure what the next couple of weeks are going to look like with my son being home for break and not doing school, and I don't have my work schedule, and I believe my in-laws are coming, and I'm just gonna be stressed. So, I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully I can pop in, even if it's just a quick little video, but I could hear him all the way down here. But I will see you when I see you, and so happy stitching, happy reading, happy watching, happy listening. So until next time, guys, be easy with your heart.